All right. So we are going to kind of go over my personal reroll guide here for Final Fantasy Ever Crisis. I'm not sure if it's 100% optimal, but this is just kind of what I did a little testing for to see if that was the optimal way to do it. So this is going to give you enough to do 2 of the featured pulls, which I think is the best way to go. We'll go over all that when we come back to it. But the rerolling process seems to be fairly simple. So we're just going to kind of start here. So you want to go up to your menu. This is after you've gone in the first time. Obviously, you're not rerolling your first time. You go in, you do your thing. I'd probably suggest doing the tutorial just so you have an idea of how to play the game and everything. After that, there's going to be a point where we semi-skip the tutorial, but not really. All right, so once you've done your first set of pulls, you want to re-roll. We're going to go up to the menu here. We're going to come down to the title screen and head back. And it's pretty simple once we get to the title screen here. We're just going to go up to that menu again. We're going to go to reset game data, and that's going to reset all your data. Now, there's something about linking data to reverse the reset. So maybe if you got a decent pull on your rerolling and you want to save that, I'm not 100% sure on this, but you can link your data. And then if you do reset and you don't like your further pulls and you're kind of over the process of rerolling, you can potentially recover that. Don't take my word for it though, because I'm not 100% sure. I haven't tested it. For now, I'm just going to be doing the reset data, delete, close. That's going to reset all your data, and then you just go right back into it. As simple as that. You don't have to do any crazy deleting the app or making sure you don't link an account and stuff like that. Just do it like that. So we start, go right back into it. Now, if you've done the tutorial and you want to skip it from now on, you can do that. However, there are 2 chests, at least 2 chests. I didn't go too much further because it didn't really matter. Here we go. Chest rewards are available by replaying the episode. So I took a little bit to figure this out. I was wondering why I wasn't getting enough gems to do a second pull on the featured banner. And it was because I didn't get the 300. There's a chest for 200 and a chest for 100 blue gems or crystals in the tutorial episode. Now, I haven't really figured out an optimal way to do this, but I think the best way is to probably skip the tutorial, enter your name again, skip the tutorial, but go right back into it, get up to the point where you get those 2 chests, and then you can retire from that mission and you don't have to finish it. So you're going to come in, you're going to do your little tutorial pull here. We're going to skip it. There's some animations with this. I'm not sure if it indicates, it does indicate what you're going to get, but I don't know all the intricacies of it. There's, when you hit fever, that means you're getting a legendary or a 5-star. Sometimes Cloud will show up in his Murasame armor. There's all kinds of stuff, different animations. I don't know what they all mean. Let's see if we just get a... This looks like potentially just a basic one. Again, none of this really matters. You can just skip this. I'm just kind of curious here. He's just going to do a one-hit thing here, I believe. Yeah, so this means we're not getting any 5-stars. So not off to a great start so far. So we're just going to skip that. Yeah, lots of purples, which are 4 stars, but no 5 stars. So we're just going to skip through this. Nothing too crazy there. We're going to get through that part of that. So you are going to have to sort of do some tutorial stuff. It's not too crazy here. We're just going to go through all this. So you skip the tutorial, but some of it you still have to do. So we're just going to kind of go through this quickly here. I think doing some of this does get you a few extra crystals anyway, so we're going to get our login stuff. All That doesn't really help with what we're trying to do with the rerolls, but it's gotta get through that, get through all these. You can just tap the screen during these like little videos and stuff and skip them, just to kind of progress yourself through a little quicker here. All right, so we're gonna close out of that. We're gonna get more stuff here. We're gonna skip all this. All right, now we're gonna go to our gifts, and that's gonna have all the different rewards for of crystals for certain things, reaching #1 on the App Store, reaching #1 on the iPhone store, all that stuff. So we're just gonna claim all of these, get those blue crystals going. So we're up to 5,450 blue crystals right now, which is not quite enough to do 2 pulls. Each pull is 3,000. So we're gonna skip this stuff. This just tells you how that stuff all works. But if you've done your first attempt, doesn't really matter. You know all that stuff. Now here's something important. So it's gonna give you the little thing about wish lists, right? I do think it's important to make sure you set your wish list each reroll attempt, just because it's obviously going to get you better chance at the stuff you want. So it's probably a good idea to take the time, set these to what you want. So personally, I am going to put Apocalypse there for Cloud. We already want the Murasame, so that's already featured. And then my personal party is going to be Cloud, Barrett, and Aerith right now. So we are going to go to Barrett's stuff here. We're going to toss on the Assault and the W Machine. And then we're going to go to Aerith. We're going to throw in the Fairy Tale. And we're going to throw in, for me personally, I'm looking at the Wiser Staff because it's earth damage. And from what I understand, there's not a ton of earth damage stuff available. So having that as her weapon is kind of nice. So those are the 5 weapons that I'm going to set as my personal wish list. And again, I think it's going to be important to do that every time you re-roll, just to make sure you get a chance of getting, have a better chance of getting those. So we're not going to do our re-rolls yet because I don't think it's going to matter too much for the amount of credits we're going to get from like random little missions and stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back into the story here. We're going to do the Final Fantasy VII. We're going to select, and we're going to go back to the first mission, the tutorial mission right here. So it says complete and everything, but I don't know if there's a way to see like whether you've got all the chests from it, but we're going to select that. We're going to skip all this, and we're going to jump right back in. So again, we're going to try and fly through this, but the main reason we're doing this is because there are 2 chests, one that's going to give us 100 blue crystals and another one that's going to give us 200 blue crystals, and that's going to get us a lot closer to the 6,000 mark that we want to be at to do the 2 featured pulls. So I am going to skip through as much of this as possible because again, we've done all this, not really a big deal. Now it's going to give you the option of turning on the auto battle and whatever. So we're going to turn that on because it's just going to make it go faster. Skip all this. And these fights should be pretty quick. Again, tap the screen, kind of skip some of these animations just to get us through this as fast as possible. So we're going to keep skipping everything. Obviously, if you've run the tutorial normally before, you've seen all that, so it's not really a big deal. This one right here is just a 1,000 gil, 10,000 gil, something like that. Not the chest we're after. We could probably skip that and save a tiny, tiny little bit of time. Again, just gonna go through these fights, let it all do the auto stuff. Super quick, super easy. Tap that, skip that. So we have to get to a certain point, which should be too far. Is it right here? No, it's just around the corner here. We're gonna skip through that. Gotta run up here. Skip that. So again, I don't know if this is the most optimal way to do this. To me, it seems worth it to just run in and get these 300 crystals and then back out. And just so you get that extra 10 pull on the featured banner, and get 2 10 rolls per reroll attempt. But yeah, if I end up finding a more optimal way to do it, I don't know how long I'm gonna do rerolling. I don't really know what my aim is, what I'm gonna consider a perfect, or not a perfect, there's gonna be no perfect reroll. But I don't know what I'm gonna consider my stopping point. It's gonna kind of just be something that I decide in the moment, I think. But yeah, I think getting 2 10 pulls per attempt is worth running through this just for that. So right after this, we're gonna grab our first chest on the catwalk here. So this one is gonna give us 200. Yeah, so this one gives us 200, and then we run back over this way. And the other one's right here. And this one's gonna give us 100. And then all we gotta do, hit the menu, retire. I don't know if there's another chest in this. I know the boss fight is pretty soon after that. I don't know if there's any other chest, but it's something you can come back to later on once you've settled on your role and you're happy with it. You can go back and get those extra chests and stuff that you might have missed. But as of right now, it doesn't contribute to the amount of gems we get, so we don't really care about that. So again, I thought I messed up when I retired and I wasn't going to get those rewards, but you actually do. You just have to go to your gift box and claim them again. There's a lot of claiming you have to do even after you've already gotten them. So we're still short here, right? So we're only at 5,750 right now. So we're going to want to go into our dailies and everything and see what we can get from these. See if we can get enough. Not very much there. We can get a bunch here, get another 100 there. I don't think there's too many that we can do here easily to get any more, so we're just gonna ignore those. I don't remember if we got too many from getting that next chest, but if we go to the shop real quick just to check, you can scroll down to the first one here, buy it for free, purchase. That's gonna complete that mission. Claim that. That's gonna get us that second chest, which gets us another 10. I mean, it's better than nothing, I guess. And then we got again go here and claim. Oh yeah, we're gonna get a bunch here. Perfect. We're still a little bit short though. Still need 130 more. I think we get 100 here. Yeah, so you're gonna want to go into your season pass thing. Whether you've bought it or not doesn't really matter. We're gonna get those 100 gems. That's what we're after. Again, we're gonna have to go back to gifts again and claim it. Bit redundant that they make us do that, but and then okay, so we need about 30 more. Well, not about 30, we need 30 more here. So there is a mission under general, I believe, where will it get us for us? Obtain 30 weapon types, right? So we're 7 short. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna start our rolls now. I'm just gonna claim this because it's bothering me. This actually gets us some too, doesn't it? So, okay, we're gonna go into our armory thing here. This is just talking about converting duplicates. From my understanding, there's no downside to having auto convert on. I don't know why they just didn't leave it on to begin with. Maybe just so you knew where your extra weapons were going. And they weren't just disappearing into a void and you didn't know what was happening. But anyway, we convert that. Will that give us enough? Where was that? That's down here. That's going to give us 50. Okay, so that's all we need. Again, we're going to have to go back to gifts, claim that. That's going to put us at 6,020, which is enough for 2 pulls. So we're going to head over to the draws. So you're going to have your 30 tickets from the normal rewards that they were giving us from the pre-registration rewards. So you're going to go ahead and do those. We're going to skip through, of course. Try and do this quickly. What do we get? We got, oh, we got a duplicate there of Glenn's weapon. I forget what it's called. Nothing too crazy. We'll do another draw here. Skip again. We got any? We got one 5-star. Possibly Eris? No, that's Clouds. So now, from my... Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, from my understanding, Murasame is not available in these. Organics, not really a weapon I'm after. Yeah, so Murasame is only in those featured banners, from my understanding. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. Nothing. Not looking great so far. Not looking so great. All right, so that's our 30 pulls there. So now we're gonna come over to our featured. So again, now we have 2 available 10 pulls for this. We have our wish list set. Now stamps. Stamps is another thing you might want to consider for your re-rolling, right? So every time that you do a 10 pull, make sure you're doing 10 pulls. Every time you do a 10 pull, you get a certain amount of stamps. You can get more. Where's the actual details on it? Oh, here it is. So every time you do a 10 pull, you're gonna get stamps. And again, there's more gacha within the gacha. Within that gacha, you have a chance of getting a certain amount of stamps, from 1 to 12. 12.01%. You're probably not gonna hit that. If you do, you're pretty damn lucky. But yeah, you can get a certain number of stamps. Those stamps are gonna progress you along this stamp sheet. So after you get 6 stamps, you're gonna get a guaranteed weapon. You can actually change this if you really want Barrett's weapon instead. You can do that. I'm personally going for the Murasame, so that is in my 6th slot. In my 12th slot, you get to pick one of the armors. I'm again going for Clouds, so that's there. So yeah, another thing to consider in your rerolls is how many tickets you get. My last reroll, I got 1 and 1. Not great. So you could take that into consideration to try and get to that armor, or to a guaranteed 5-star Murasame. So again, just something to keep in mind. We are most likely going to be re-rolling after this, just because this hasn't been a very good one so far. But we'll see. Did I not? No, those are what we want. Those are fine. So unless we get like 12 stamps or something here, there are 2 better than 1. So that's going to progress us 2 on that. And we'll just skip that. So yeah, unless I get some crazy pulls here, not even a 5-star, not definitely re-rolling. Unless this next one is insanely crazy, like all 5 stars, we're most likely re-rolling. We'll draw our next one. How many stamps? 12? 2. All right. Back-to-back 2s, not the worst. Puts us 2 away from our 6th slot at least. But yeah, again, because these each cost 3,000 gems and we only get 6,000, it's going to be a little bit important to consider those stamps. Because if you want to get to that armor without spending money on the game, it's gonna be difficult. But we do have, I think, a week or so, so I don't know how many free blue crystals we get through the course of doing the actual game, playing the stories and stuff, but it's a long way to get to that 12. So I'm gonna skip that. We got 2 5-stars. We got 1 for Barrett. That looks like the assault. Yeah, that is one of the guns we want for him. And then that looks like another one for Barrett. And that's his featured weapon, the Hauser. So, one weapon that we were kind of chasing, but yeah, not so great. Not so great on the this reroll. So I'm going to be re-rolling again. So we're going to go through that whole process. I'm not going to do it here. but that's going to be the thing. We're going to go back to the title, do the reset, go through that little bit of the tutorial mission, and then do the process all over again. That's just what I've found so far on my best way to do the re-rolling. It's fairly simple. It does take a little bit of time, but it's definitely less of a headache than other games I've done re-rolling in. But yeah, that is kind of how we're going to do our re-rolling. I'm going to be spending a little bit of time on that. I don't know how much time. I'd like to get at least a Murasame or two, but it sounds like you need a lot in this game because you can get up to, I believe, 15 stars on weapons. So you're gonna need a lot of duplicates. So I'm gonna aim to try and get at least a decent amount of 5 stars personally, and then I don't want to spend too much time on that. I'm not gonna try and super min-max it, but we are gonna try and get some decent stuff at least. Even if I get like 1 5-star for each character, I'd be decently happy. But yeah, so that is not even one I'd want to save. That roll is not even one I'd want to save in the data thing, if that's a thing. So I'm just gonna purely re-roll that. But yeah, hopefully that helps you guys. Hopefully you get some lucky pulls in yours. I'm not a very lucky person, as you saw in that. But yeah, hopefully you get some good stuff. Another little thing, if you don't want to go through the tutorial, I guess there is a thing where you can watch some ads in the bottom right corner here for 50 crystals each. Probably worth doing just in general for crystals in the future. But I think running through that story mission and getting those 300, because I think these 50 and 50, the 100 from the 2 ads here puts you just short of another pull. So I think it's best to just do that story mission again and get the 300 crystals from that. But yeah, hopefully that helps you and you get some good pulls. Thanks for watching.